Week 2 in Dubai, I promised you I would always be honest and tell you exactly what's been going on. So obviously we had this flight, which was not a long flight. I mean, it was only 7 hours, but oh my God, I was so tired because of the stress and everything we moved beforehand. So a little bit of a recap summary when we arrived in Dubai. Obviously the airport is ginormous. I got bumped in about 5 times. No one could actually see my bags on the floor. The Airbnb wouldn't let us in. If you've missed this full story, by the way, go back and watch my previous video as I tell you exactly what happened. It was a tough time. It was so long and tedious. They wouldn't let us in, so we had to go to a mall with all our bags, which the local mall to us is Jimaraya Circle Mall, because we're living in Jimaraya Circle Village. Funny, hey? So this was the mall. We ended up spending the whole day here, staying in coffee shops, having some lunch, and just honestly counting down the hours. Why is it when you're working during the day, time seems to fly by, but when you're waiting around, it just seems to be so slow? Anyway, we made the most of it. Like I said, we fueled ourselves, ate some good food. And in between that, it's been a case of training in the gym here. This Airbnb has its own gym, which is super cool. I've been doing some great leg sections. I've actually had to change my training because the weights are much less in this gym. But you know what? I quite like the challenge, and sometimes it can be a bit boring doing the same thing. So priority has still been to fuel myself correctly and most importantly, be consistent with my training. So I've also got some videos of me just walking around just to kind of show you the ins and outs of what's been happening. But the sun here is very strong. Even though, I hate to say this, it's actually a bit cold. I am heading to the mall today, so walking to Circle Mall, waiting for this person who's always late, guaranteed to always forget something. He's now forgotten his phone. Usually it's his watch or his earphones or himself. But he's here. So today I'm off to the mall and meeting a friend, and we're working in a place called a workspace.
Hi, friend.
They're all over, well, everywhere, I think, even in the UK. Super good, kind of get some work done together when there's similar line of work when it comes to working online. And then afterwards we're going to Nick doesn't know this yet, we're going to a sauna and a cold ice room, which we booked for an hour, which is in the same mall. That's what we're doing afterwards. So we're going to work hard for a few hours and then do that.
Amazing.
And this is the walk to Circle Mall. Honestly, the walk is like 20 minutes. It's a really good walk, and you get to see the different buildings. There's such a contrast between, I'm guessing Dubai style and then really modern. I don't know if you've heard of a place called Bugatti, but it's full of these buildings, these tall rise buildings everywhere. I actually spent the morning in this place, which was a work area. So stunning. You pay a set fee for the day and you get free drinks like water, tea, coffee. The place is honestly stunning and really good experience. So everyone in there is obviously working, doing their own thing. They had a ping pong table, but I love all the plants, and it was so well lit, fresh, quiet considering how many people were there, but really, really good day. And I actually joined a friend in the end, and we've both got our businesses, so it's so nice to just kind of tag team, join forces. And we decided to, whilst we were there, go and do an infrared sauna, which, believe it or not, was actually right outside, just literally right there. This was such an incredible experience. We booked it for an hour, very sporadic, and it was 45 minutes in the infrared sauna, which was just absolutely, honestly, such a great experience, such a relaxing experience. And then it was a cold ice bath, which was probably around 5 degrees. There was two, so there was a one at 5 degrees and one at 8 degrees. And we both did it, which I was really happy with. I need some practice because not as cold as the ones in South Africa in November. Oh my God, that was like ice. Putting your foot into the water was genuinely like an ice block. So not as cold, but still great to do, and such a good contrast compared to like sitting in the heat for a good 40 minutes, having a really good sweat, raising your temperature, and then getting in that cold water. What a contrast. But as always, these things are so good, and you feel like a new person once you've done them. If you've done a nice bath or like a nice wash bath, let me know, comment below, because I know there's a lot of technique to it and experience. I stayed in this one for 3 minutes, which I was happy with. Could definitely feel the benefits. But yeah, it was such an awesome day to do this with someone who's very like-minded. And as I promised, I would share everything. So my goal this time in Dubai would be to network. So when I was here last year, I spent a lot of time in the apartment working for myself, which can actually drive you crazy. So my non-negotiables are networking, keeping up with friends, making new friends, and doing things like my yoga. So I'm doing a lot more of my yoga videos. If you want to watch them, please do. I am doing loads of videos for relaxation, lowering cortisol, if you're suffering with tight hips. I'm doing an array of different videos. I genuinely love yoga. It's something that I do every single day. And first thing really, so when I get up in the morning at 5:30, I have a lemon water with some salt and do any form of mobility routine that my body wants. So it's really about just checking in with your body and seeing how you're feeling. And it's something that when I've done it, if I wake up a bit sore, stressed, or a little bit stiff, I feel like a different person after doing it. And the best thing about it is you can just vary it to suit you. You know, you don't have to follow a routine. If you don't want to like watch technology first thing in the morning, just stop. And that's the beauty about yoga. It's something that for me really brings me into the present, but also checks in with how my body is. So if I'm having a really stiff day, depending on where I am, even in my menstrual cycle, I will not train that day. So it's a really good like, okay, how are you doing today, and what does your body want to do today? It's a really, really like fundamental part of my non-negotiable things I do in the morning. Right, we've been here over 10 days now. 10 days? Yeah. And I've still not been to the beach. So, my brother and his friends are here they've been here for a week, so I'm going to go and see them today at a beach club. Not something I often do because I always feel like I need to be working. I'm always like, I need to be working. So I've got my work with me, classic, packed my bag, I've got my laptop, everything is in there. But yeah, it's just a case of, oh, you can't see me. Just a case of letting your hair down and also having some downtime in between work, because otherwise it can be relentless. So I've got everything and the taxi man is here. Let's go to a beach club. It's called Drift and it is on the Dubai Marina. Well, what a place. This place is called Drift Beach. Have a look at it. It is stunning, right near the Palm. And this is as you left the kind of beach club itself, because I got frisked on the way in. My bag was checked. They took my water off me. You're basically not allowed to take anything in there with you, and it's a private beach. So heads up, if you go to Drift Beach, do not take anything with you. That's my bro, by the way. Absolutely love him. He's a legend. And he's Speedos. So they took everything off me in terms of like, not even my water. When I got over that, you can see the water there is just, it was like a bath. It was stunning. And this was the actual beach club. I managed to get some filming done, but I had to be very careful. We played Uno, we played double, love double. If you've not played double below, if you've not played double, let me know and comment below. It's such a cool game. And whoever lost in Uno had to drink a shot, which was just, it was a great fun. These were my brother's friends, and in between some of the drinking, and we tried some of their awesome snacks there. So these were like a chicken pitta, so delicious. I spent a lot of time walking on the beach. I'm just a beach girl. I don't want to say a beach bum, but I genuinely love the sea. I love the sun. There's something about the water that just really brings me home, makes me feel good. and the water there is just crystal clear, very clean. This is like close to the palm side of the Dubai Marina, it's called. But if you go the other side of this, it's more of a public beach. I mean, this is a public beach, but you can see there's like private beach clubs all along. So it's very quiet, and you very rarely pass people at all. Whereas if you go further the other side, it's actually a lot busier. But yeah, it was just such a nice time to spend with family, see my brother, see his friends, and I really made the most of it, especially kind of like the quiet time as well. I also did some random things, like I found this, like, oh God, what's it called? Like a hammock, and just ended up laying on there for like 10 minutes and falling asleep. It was just a lovely bit of me time, you know? We all needed a little bit of self-love. Yeah, it was awesome. Now, this is one of the friggin' mental malls in Dubai. It's huge. This is Emirate, the Mall of Emirates. And okay, to take you through this area, obviously always hydrating. We were on a mission to find some Aztecs. I call them Aztecs. I know they're called Aztecs, but yeah, I really needed some running shoes. One of my friends in the UK had some Aztecs, and I was like, I need to find some of these. So first of all, trying to find this area, I mean, thank God Nick knows where he's going. It's just mentally busy and huge. They have these information stands all over the place just to, like, you know, enter in where you need to go to, and then it gives you a map, because it's just so confusing. I have been there before. However, like, I think unless you come there often, it's just one big maze. And we ended up luckily not getting lost because Nick knew where he was going. But I mean, there's like a ski resort in the mall, like ski. There's live penguins in the mall as well. Like, just they're just totally out there. You know, when people say like Dubai is extreme, yes, it is extreme. It is wonderful in all its glory, but very out there as well. So it was a case of, on a mission, we went up 3 floors of this huge place just to try and find these Aztecs. Last time we were here, we had a few visits to the Cheesecake Factory, so we were actually just checking out what the menu was like, but I won't eat there again because of the toxins and seed oils that are in the food that they make. I had a few trips last year that I'm like, do you know what, wasn't good for my belly, felt bloated. So this is us going on a mission, going up. I think we went up 3 levels to find the store. We looked in like different Nike stores, we looked at Lululemon, all kinds of the kind of, you know, similar brands to what we have in the UK, but just on like mass scale. Everything that's you'll find in the UK is here, but it's on like triple the scale. So we also had a little cheeky visit to a cafe, which is my favorite. Obviously before the video shows it. It is actually an Arabic coffee, even though I thought it was Italian, but this is one of my favorite coffees. And I try and stick to not having coffee after midday, just for obvious reasons of the caffeine. However, we actually had a decaf coffee of Illy Coffee, honestly one of my favorites. And they always have these amazing pastries and cakes everywhere. Again, not something I actually crave, but my partner is a massive bakery fan. So for him, it's always like, how do I say no to it? Look at the size of this mall. Honestly, God, like, it's absolutely stunning, but I just can never get over when I'm walking through these areas, just how overwhelmed you can feel. And I don't know about you, but I actually am not much of a shopping person, so I have to really be in the mood to go shopping. It's for me very like, I find it tedious, and because there's so much to look at, this actually sounds pathetic, I get tired easy. I don't know about you, but when there's so many people and there's so much to do and see and look, I just end up feeling really tired. So for me, I was like, I don't want to do any form of shopping. I honestly just want to find this store. I need to find this at this trainer store. And here it is. We found it in Go Sports of all places. Oh my gosh, the size of the size of this shop alone is probably the size of some of the malls in the UK. But such cool variety. And if I was in a shopping mood, then this would be the place to go. They had such amazing variety of clothes. For me, as a girl who's quite particular with sports clothing, I find bras, like sports bras, really, really difficult. If you guys know of any good sports bras, let me know. I like, obviously, the high impact ones that have some support as well, but I hate the ones that go over your shoulders. So here we found some shoes. We looked at these Hokas, I think that's how you say it. And oh my gosh, I did actually find a pair of Asics, but did not get them in the end, just for the price. They were like triple the price in the UK. So we decided very sporadically and spontaneously to go and find the metro, because the taxis were queued up. So we ended up finding a metro. And have any of you been on the metro in Dubai? Again, so cleverly built, like, you know, you're straight into the mall from the metro, but oh my God, again, like a maze. You really have to be in that frame of mind of people, busyness, on a mission to find where you need to go. And it's actually Ramadan here in Dubai at the moment, so it's quite quiet during the day, and then in the evening it's like a celebration, which is a lovely environment to be around, to be fair. And this is us going from the Emirates Mall, and now we're heading basically towards the Dubai Marina. We're trying to find a bit of a midway point for JVC. So where Jumeirah Village is very more central inland. So we ended up having to go like across, because they don't have a metro that comes to JVC yet. So we almost had to go one way just to miss the traffic to go back to JVC. And you're probably thinking like, why did you do that? What a faff. The traffic around the mall, you can be stuck for up to 45 minutes in the taxi. So top tip there, guys, if you come to the Mall of Emirates, get on this tram line. It's so easy to navigate, and it's actually very cheap compared to taxis and getting around and being stuck in traffic. So very much recommend this. It's very convenient. The only thing is, like I said, if you're staying in JVC, which is where we were staying, actually trying to get there, you have to get in via a taxi or hire a car and drive in that way. So this is the tram. This is us moving across. They have like Sports City, they have Internet City, they have Business Bay, very well set up and cleverly designed. But just, I'm fascinated by all the buildings in Dubai. Like, it's just an incredible infrastructure. It's if you've never been, would highly recommend going. It's something that, it's like no other city I've been to. It's crazy all in one. And when we finally got off and managed to navigate our way through, we were then back in a taxi, and we headed over back to the mall, the Circle Mall near us. We're like mall hopping. But we managed to get ourselves sorted, and it's crazy. If you don't know where you're going, a lot of the stations are so like spacious, but they very much look the same. So it's a bit like the tube in London. You do have these maps to follow, like on the walls, on the tram roofs, so you won't get lost. But it's definitely worth looking at before you go and do this, because it can be overwhelming just because of the size of, like, the amount of people. And even since I was last here a year ago, I would say it's busier. Like, Dubai is getting busier and busier. So yeah, if you've never been, come along. It's a great city to come and visit, but definitely try and navigate your way and get some idea of your bearings before you come, just so that it's super easy and you don't get like overwhelmed with the amount of people and traffic. So this is us just waiting for a taxi. It's a dinner party kind of style theme this evening. What are we making? I'm going to make some lasagna. So I've got the sheets, trying to find stuff that's got no seed oils in it. Was interesting, by the way. We've got some tomatoes and some mince, and I'm going to actually cook it now, even though this doesn't have to be ready until later. However, if I do it now, then it's done. And lasagna is always better once it's been cooked and allowed to set. Let me know if you agree or disagree, but that's what I've kind of found. Okay, lasagna free from seed oils. How many of you know about seed oils? If you don't, comment below and let me know, because I can send you through a free seed oil guide. Honestly changed my life, and I looked into the ingredients of what we're actually eating, and that is anything from like pasta to these, processed protein yogurts that are just full of nonsense. So now I actually really enjoy cooking, and yes, it is a challenge to find foods that are not full of oils, but when you do, it's actually super easy. It's just knowing what to eat. And as true Italian style, I made the lasagna from scratch, which was absolutely delicious. Like, one of my favorite parts is quite therapeutic. That might be weird, comment, let me know, is actually layering the lasagna up. I really enjoy layering it. It's like a real achievement. And then, so kind of top tip for lasagna making is I like to make it definitely at least 5-6 hours before. Put it in the oven, bake it, and then I take it out, let it sit for a couple of hours, and then before the guest arrives, I will then heat it again in the oven for like half an hour. Oh my gosh, there's something about when you let pasta set, and the same thing with lasagna. It just tastes amazing, and look at that. The friend that came over, she brought a bottle of wine from her region in France, which was super, super cool. So grateful to have her, and what a cool night we had. Nick had to order some pizza. And then for me, it was just doing what I love again. So doing some yoga videos. It sounds very monotonous and repetitive, but this is the true glamorous, non-glamorous life, what I'm living at the moment. This is me all over, doing a lot of my videos, doing training, looking after my body, what I'm eating, working on my business, networking, meeting friends, and then also walking. Like, big part of everyday life is just getting out in nature. So they have these parks all over Dubai. This is actually a park I showed you in my first video where we live. If you've missed that, please go back and watch it, just to show you the area that we're living in JVC. It's quite an interesting area, unique, everything's in a circle. And so when you come out of this building, this time I went right. So this is the park going right towards this awesome cafe we found that does really good coffee. And the parks are so cleverly built, but also very convenient, because if you're in these buildings all day, it's nice to go out and be in nature. So yes, it's all planted there, but it's like, you can see it's very green. They have these watering systems that go on every morning and evening when the sun's kind of at its lowest point. And there's so many kitty cats everywhere, which there's this lady, I'll try and film her, the secret cat whisperer. She feeds them all the time. It's so nice to see.